About Dudumieni saying she's too poor to attend a court case in Pretoria. That's a court bid to declare her a delinquent director. That's the former SAA chairperson we're talking about. Let's get some reaction from OUTA's chief legal officer. That's Stefanie Fick. Stefanie, a very good evening to you. So quite unbelievable, wouldn't you say, that Dudumieni pleading poverty, saying that she actually can't make it. She's got no money for a ticket or for petrol or accommodation. I suppose she has no friends in Pretoria as well to actually get to attend this court case.
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, I think we're all struggling with that specific statement made by her. I think we were discussing it today, and it's a deliberate attempt to get out of this case and sort of the strategy of lawfare. You know, not wanting to do it to court, or she actually knows something we don't know, and I don't know which is scary. I can't believe that the previous chairman of SAA can't get a flight on the carrier she used to be the chairperson of. So yeah, I think it's a question a lot of us are struggling with, and the first thing that comes to mind is we just don't believe her.
Well, be that as it may, the case goes on Thursday with or without her. Now, how do you see this panning out? Because I mean, this comes from you guys in the SAA Pilots Association, you know, filing this application to declare her a delinquent director. So do you think she's kind of shot herself in the foot, or do you think you may not be able to get proper justice if she's not there?
Well, just as a background, in civil litigation, it's not necessary for the client necessarily to be there, in the sense that as long as your advocate and attorney can take instructions, you don't have to be there. But in her case, she didn't have any legal representation, so she was supposed to be there yesterday. What we believe is going to happen on Thursday, because she was put on terms by the judge said by tomorrow afternoon, our legal team will receive her application for postponement, and then the application for postponement will be argued on Thursday. And the judge also added that if she chooses not to do that, she does that at her own peril. So I think, as we've seen in the past, it's sometimes just easier to instruct a legal representative. In this case, I think she was talking about, or what Mr. Mansha was placing before court, is that she may get an advocate to deal with this application pro bono. The best case scenario is that the advocate files their heads or their application for postponement tomorrow afternoon, and then we argue this application for postponement, and we are going to vigorously oppose it. And I think the judge will see through her attempt to delay this matter, and that we will, the judge will give an order for us to continue, whether she's ready or not. If she chooses for us to go ahead without her attorney being there, it can be done in her absence, then that's what we're going to ask for.
And I see that in addition to opposing this application for postponement, Stefanie, you're going to be asking for a cost order. And I don't know if that's a wise move if she's already pleading poverty. I don't know what joy you're going to have there.
One should just remember is that this is also a person that is, you know, a house owner. That's quite valuable if anything is to go by. But yes, if this matter is postponed, I'm sure that the judge will seriously consider our request for a punitive cost order. In other words, that she's not only paying the taxed cost of this matter, but really paying all our legal fees and the wasted costs of this application. But I think first prize would be for this matter to continue. It is our stance that I think we are in a position, or we are experiencing South Africa a bit of hopelessness in the sense that we're hearing. I mean, your insert just referred to state capture again and Duduzane. We've been hearing all these allegations about corruption, state capture, but you know, who has been held accountable? And I think that OUTA and SAPA decided, you know, 2 years ago to take this matter on. If SAA is not going to do it, we will do it. And I do believe it will create some kind of hope in the hearts of South Africans that someone is going to be held accountable. And I think that it's time. It's time that South Africans see that some of the guilty parties, or the alleged guilty parties, are going to be held accountable.
Very, very quickly for us, are you in a position, and I'm not a legal mind at all, but is it within your power to ask if she continues to plead poverty and she gets the postponements and drags this on for as long as she can, is it within your power, or are you able to ask for her to be able to look at her financial records, for the court to look at it to see if indeed this is true or she's lying to the court?
Well, I think that will be part of the application on Thursday. And the court basically said you need to answer, or you need to give sufficient reasons for this matter to be postponed. So it's not going to be enough for her to say she pleads poverty. At this point in time, I think the shoe is on her foot. Or she needs to convince the court why after all this time she's now pleading poverty, and why this matter should be postponed. This matter can't be postponed,
indefinitely,
without having a date in mind, because she doesn't have money. When is she going to have money? There's millions of people daily that appears in our criminal courts and our civil courts that actually cannot afford it. If you want to claim maintenance, you need to get to a maintenance court whether you have money or not. So at this point in time, maybe later in the case, it may become important for us to request the judge to do a means test. And if she applies for legal aid, the court may have to do a means test. But at this point in time, I think she'll have to convince the court why she's saying she doesn't have money to continue.
Thanks.